We ain't over, but the writing's on the wall. We'll keep trying just so we can say it all. We ain't over, but the writing's on the wall. Hip-hop music brought me up, and in order to do it, you have to have a good vocabulary, you know? And I didn't get the grades at school, you know, I got kicked out of school. With music, you get instant gratification. You don't get that with maths and English. Maths and English, you have to build up to you know, get to a point where you can actually actively do it. That's what's great about music. It gives you, it's instant gratification. It gives you something back straight away. The minute you pick up a drumstick and you start hitting the snare, you're getting something back. You know what, a lot of the heroes I had in real life disappointed me in later life. Michael Jackson was my first hero. Motherfucker let me down, as well as a million other fucking kids, you know. One was my godfather. Was a hero to me because my dad wasn't around. He was the only father figure I had. And then later on in life, he became such a pisshead alcoholic that I kind of saw his true colours, and that, you know, he's actually quite a bad person. With the first record, obviously I had all that life experience and all those things to talk about, and then, you know, I got taken out of my environment and put into the kind of public realm of celebrity and parties and festivals, etc. I remember we done a gig in Sheffield. We done a secret gig for MySpace, and basically MySpace sent out bulletins to anyone that was part of your friends list and said, hey, Plan B's going to be playing at this pub at this time tonight. So we drive all the way up there, and there's like 4 people there. There's 4 people looking at us, and it's so embarrassing. I kind of realised that it was the summer holidays, so it was a student town, all the students had gone home, so no one was there. So we just got the rider out, we put it on the stage, and we just played a gig to 4 people and just let them help themselves to drink. And something similar happened in Salt Lake City, where the gig was just not promoted. And the whole West Coast tour we done was great. We were selling out 300, 400 capacity venues. We get to Salt Lake City, there's one poster stuck on the venue amongst like 1,000 other posters, which is my poster, which was telling people that this gig was happening to, you know, that night. And about 60 people turned up, but it was actually one of the craziest gigs we've done, because we just started during the gig, started putting money on the bar and was just giving the 60 people that was there shots of tequila, and again bringing out bottles of wine from the rider and just fucking, you know, I'm singing, pouring their cups full, and we're like moshing on the stage and drunk people getting up on the stage, and it was like a lot of fucking fun, you know. And there's 2 ways you can look at it. You can say, okay, I've just done O2 Arena in London, I just sold it out, and then I come, like that was a week ago, and then I'm here in Salt Lake City playing to 60 fucking people. And you can look at it like that. You can be really embarrassed about it and say, you know what, I'm not gonna go out and play and be a fucking cock about it. Or you can go, do you know what, I'm gonna have a fucking good time. I'm gonna do something in this gig that I can't do in other gigs. I'm going to interact with the crowd, and I'm going to go and drink with them while we're fucking playing, you know what I mean? We would never do. But look at how times have changed, baby. What I understand about myself is that, you know, I write about, I'm heavily influenced by my environment at the time, and therefore that's what I'm going to write about. So Strickland Banks kind of allowed me to tell a fictional story about, you know, a celebrity, which I kind of based on other celebrities that I'd kind of met at the time, people that come across as like fucking arseholes, but deep down probably all right people, but you know, the whole industry's kind of got to them. And also Ill Manners, which came directly after that, that was something that was based on all my experiences beforehand, which I tried to release before Strickland Banks. You know, I tried to make that film. I'd written it before I'd created Strickland Banks, and no one would back me. Right, okay. You know, no one believed in me as a filmmaker or give me the money. Strickland Banks was always going to be I was gonna do like a speaker box Love Below type album.
Right,
So
yeah.
I actually delivered 2 albums to the label, kind of unmixed and unfinished, but I said, look, this is it. And the boss at the time, he just said, look, I'm not really excited, which fucked me off. I'm like, fuck you, I've just given you 2 fucking records, you cunt. And he said, no, he goes, I'm excited about this one, but I'm not really excited about that one. And he gave me a deal I couldn't refuse, which was, he said, if you focus on this album, the soul album, and we release that and we make that a success, then I'll give you the rights to the hip hop album. You can solely own it yourself. You can take every penny from it. So I'm sitting there thinking like a businessman and like, you know, an independent artist, which I feel suits my hip hop music a lot more than being on a major label. That's what I learned from the first record anyway. I saw it as a good deal. I just didn't expect Strickland Banks to be as successful as it was. And
right, okay.
because it was that successful, it meant that there was no time to do the Ballad of Belmarsh.
Right, okay.
And because Strickland Banks was successful, people was giving me money to do Ill Manners. So while I was in between promoting Strickland Banks, I was getting Ill Manners made, you know, shooting it, editing it, doing the soundtrack album.
That's kind of ill, people. But yo, it ain't as ill as this. Let's all go on the urban safari. We might see some illegal migrants. Hey, look, there's a chap. That means council house environment. It's got a hoodie on, give him a hug.
Music is something that stops kids from being on the streets. It's something that changes their life. It's something that if they've got music, they've got something to lose. And when kids that come from this world have got something for the first time in their life, when before they never had nothing, you think they want to lose that? The problem is that the way we deal with these kids is we say that they need to be punished. That's the problem. There must be another way of counteracting this issue.
You ever read about it or heard? When it's all true, so stay with your safety. There's no need to step out the word. Truth is here with all the stir. Cheat and lie is so absurd. We the fear, that's what we've learned. Through the fire, let it burn. Oi! I said oi! What you looking at, you little rich boy?
The way that we're trying to combat this crisis has not changed in the last 40 years. You know, I think there's a lack of empathy towards these kids because we just see them as bad kids. But no kid is born bad. You're born into a bad situation, and in turn that will make you act out in a bad way.
And you're involved in some practical work, aren't you? To try, you know, to try and give people something.
We're a part of the solution. We're not the solution. I mean, that would be impossible, but we're definitely part of it. And the charity is called Each One Teach One. And basically we use music as a therapy to engage with hard-to-reach, marginalised kids that have been expelled from school, and we help to assimilate them back into mainstream education using music as a therapy. I will always, you know, regardless of how negative an act is or the negative things that they're saying, it's just words. It's just words. But what the government are doing, that's not words, that's actions. That's real, tangible actions where they are systematically ruining young people's lives.
There's a big misconception about hip-hop music, and that's because of the way that it's sold in this country.
And what's that misconception then?
That it's all about money, hoes and rims.
To be fair, a large amount of it is.
Well, a large amount of the stuff you hear is.
Yeah. So
but the underground stuff isn't. It's very conscious and it's more like poetry.
I went to Tunmarsh Centre in Plaistow, and at this school, I was there with other kids from a lot more dysfunctional families than me. They've been through a lot more than me. And one thing we shared in common is we didn't have any respect for authority, whether it be teachers or police. I think the reason why we didn't have respect for authority was because we felt that we were ignored by society, that we didn't belong to it.
And so we wouldn't listen to anyone apart from our favourite rappers. You know, there was underground music out there that we would listen to. We would let this music raise us. And most of these artists we'll never meet in our lives, but their words are what guided us.
Lord above, I just killed a man. Let somebody take the blame. Lord above, I'm kneeling down. I pray you take away this pain all up in here. I'm praying, Lord, I'm praying to you. Take away this guilt all up in my head. Beating, Lord, I'm pleading with you. We got deals to do.
So I'm a parent now, and you know, me and my girlfriend are together, and we're raising our kid, and a lot of the songs are just about, you know, that situation, me turning 30, you know, and having to take on a lot more responsibility. I just took a break from being plan B for a sec and just thought I'm just gonna make music like I always did, because I was a singer-songwriter before I was a rapper. So I just started picking up the guitar and just writing whatever was in my head or my heart at the time. And naturally these soul songs would come out, because that kind of is the plan A. That's always been the thing that I haven't had to work at. If you give me a guitar, naturally I'll hear soul melodies, etc. So I just, rather than stopping creative flow, I just let it out. Every time an idea would come, I'd let it out and I'd write a song. I ended up having this album worth of soul songs, just thinking, what the fuck am I gonna do with them?